Alright, bro. Let me close that door. Alright, I'm kind of sick, so my voice gonna sound a little weird, but it's all good. Um, so basically, all I'm gonna talk about today is just this movie I watched that kind of just, it's the reason I haven't been watching porn lately. I know that sounds goofy or crazy, whatever. It's this movie called a Serbian film. Once again, like the manic shit. It's not gonna be a deep breakdown like that, but it's just me kind of talking about the movie a little bit. I wish I could go into detail about it, but I can't. Well, I could. I'm not making money off this shit anyway, and I don't really. That's not the game plan. So I might break down some of it, but some of that shit is so graphic, bro. I kind of don't even want to speak on it. Even when I think about this shit, it gives me a little bit of chills because like some of the shit in the movie is so disgusting and dirty and filthy. It is mind-boggling that somebody made this, showed it to people, and it got cleared still for certain places in certain countries. And certain places is banned though, so you can't see it. But obviously, it's the internet. You can find whatever you want to find. How did I even stumble into this movie? Me and my homeboy watching shit, and he's like, "Hey, what do you want to watch?" And I'm like, I'm into scary movies. Like I watch scary shit." He said, "Oh, okay. What about this movie? Have you heard of this?" And I was like, "No, I ain't never seen it." And then, well, even before I get into that, he put on another movie before this one, but I couldn't finish it. And it was a snuff film, bro. And I'm like, but it's not. I don't think it's real. I don't know if it was real. I don't know. It said it was produced and da-da-da. It was fake. But I couldn't watch it because it felt so real in that moment. I was like, "Hey, bro, cut this shit off, bro." We got like maybe 5 minutes in. I was like, "Hey, you gotta cut this shit off. I'm not finna watch this." Because that film, the woman, they were just beating on women and all sorts of other shit, bro. And I'm like, I'm not finna. It low-key was making me genuinely angry watching these niggas just beat up women. It was pissing me off so bad, bro. So I was like, "Hey, bro, you gotta cut this shit off." Because I'm actually getting angry. I'm getting upset. I'm genuinely getting emotionally, like, pissed watching this shit. And I'm not some, like, white knight or anything like that. I'm far from it. But I do respect and love women to a point where even if I don't know them, I don't care if they're prostitutes, hookers, junkie, whatever you want to put a label on them as. I'm not finna watch you sit here and beat on and mistreat and just fuck with somebody for no absolute reason, just because you're bored and you want to do something. And this is how you get your kicks and giggles. Like, I'm not watching that, bro. I can't watch it like that. There's no plot. There's no story. You're just beating on women and abusing women. I'm not watching that shit. That shit that's not enjoyable to me. That is fucking, it's disturbing. And I don't fuck with it. So, yeah, midway through, bro, I told that nigga I told him to cut that shit off. I'm like, "I'm not finna watch this, bro. I need you to cut that off. We can watch something else." Yeah, he's not into that type of shit either. He wasn't like arguing with me or nothing like that. Wasn't laughing. He was like, "Yeah, no, we gonna cut this shit off." Cause we just like clicked on it. He heard about it from one of his homies or some shit. He was like, "Yeah, we gonna watch it." I'm like, "Nah, cut that shit off. I'm not watching that." He was like, "Yeah, we're not finishing that." So then, we go to another movie. And I'm like, one of the main reasons I was telling him to cut the other one off, I'm like, I don't know if this is real or fake, bro. Like, I feel dirty and nasty even watching this shit. I don't even know if it's real or fake. I definitely don't want to watch it. I'm cool. So we cut the first film off. Then that's when we watched a Serbian film. Because it was under that movie. But this one we knew was fake. It was obviously made in the studio, directed. This is not real. You can tell. Off the rip, you can tell it's not real. The camera angles, the editing, you can tell it's not real. So I'm like, cool, we can watch this. As long as I know it's fake, real people aren't being hurt, and real evil shit is not being conducted, cool, bro. Boy, was I wrong, bro. A Serbian film I'll give you the plot basically. It's like this ex-porn star has a family, wants to take care of that family, does this mysterious deal with this weird nigga, and shit just goes downhill from there. So the film starts off opening. Oh, my bad. Spoiler alert. I gave you the plot, but I didn't give you like the real plot. I'm finna really get into like some details of it. I don't know if I'm gonna spoil it or not, but that's when I'm gonna give out a spoiler warning. So if for some odd reason after you watch this, or based on what you've already heard, you're interested, curiosity is flowing through you, whatever, you can go watch it. But I would recommend you not to watch it. I genuinely think that it's some of the worst shit I've ever seen in my life. I thought 170 Days of Silo was bad. I just happened to find that on a TikTok and watched it. This is damn near worse than that, just from an imagery standpoint. But anyway, spoiler warning. That's a spoiler warning if you do want to go watch it. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So the movie starts off, this like 5 or 6 year old, bro. He can't be no more than, he's not older than 10. He's like 7, 8, bro, maybe 6. Watching his dad's porno. His dad's ex-porn star. He just happened to find one of his pornos, watched it. And he's fucking this girl or whatever. And it's like, okay, this is regular porn. This is weird. But I'm not finna cut the movie off because of a sex scene. It's a sex scene. I'm not tripping. They're all over the place. But little did I know, bro, that was the foreshadowing of some of the sickest shit I've ever seen from a movie. After that, the mom comes in, alright, we're getting introduced to the characters, mom, like we're getting introduced to all the roles of the people. So it's an uncle, which is the porn star's brother, he's a policeman. The mom, she's a stay-at-home mom, she married the porn star. And then it's the kid. Those are our main characters for real. Everybody else kind of is just a... And then it's another main character named Vukmut, or Vukmat. I don't know how to say the nigga's name, but I'll get to him in a second. So these are our characters so far in this film. The dad, and this is the crazy part, the dad, you kind of relate to the dad. He does some fucked up shit against his will, and it really isn't his fault. But he takes on this deal with Vukmut, whatever the fuck his name is, and it's a deal to do another porno. The dad's a retired porn star. He just does prostitution, put food on the table for his family, whatever. So Vukmut gets like, hey, I got this deal, make this movie with me. It's gonna be like a real porno. It's gonna be like art, yada yada yada. I'm like, okay, cool. But off the rip, you already know, due to the great film elements, which is insane. This movie has good actual film and storytelling. The foreshadowing is all throughout the film. You know something's not right about the deal. And then the dad ends up taking the deal, whatever, because it's a lot of money. So he's like, fuck it. This can set my family up. We can move. We don't got to be here no more. We can leave, live somewhere else, start a new life. I don't got to do the prostitution no more. It's that hope and that thought of, damn, I'm willing to do anything, not only just for some money, but to set my family up for in the long run so we don't have to live like this. They not living bad, but the way he's bringing in income that's not a good way to bring income. It's through prostitution, you know. But yeah, so we spend time with him. He goes to the deal. I'm gonna just skip through the major parts. So the reason I bring up the opening scene of the film is because of foreshadowing as to how the sex and lust and porn and all that, it ends up being the ultimate downfall of the whole entire family. So we start the scene with the son watching the dad, have sex with this woman. Alright, now, this is the part where I'm saying, alright, bro. This is the part where if you are squeamish, you don't like gory or nasty shit, this is the part where you cut this off. This is this part. I'm gonna talk about the ending scene as well. Once again, if you don't like spoilers, if you want to watch it, go ahead. The same way in which the dad was having sex in the opening scene in the porno that his son saw is the same way the dad ends up killing his own son. I repeat, the way the dad was having sex in the opening scene with the porn star he was doing a porno with is the same way he ends up killing his son. If you don't get what I mean, they drug the dad up at the end, put him on this drug that makes him so horny and so want to get his nut off. They cover his son's head, cover his little body up, lay him in the bed face down, tie him up, and they let the dad loose like a rabid dog. And like I said, the dad ends up killing his son the same way he was having sex in that porno scene. If you're still not putting one and two together, the stuff they do in prison to people, the thing that rhymes with apes, the thing that rhymes with grapes, he did that to his son, right next to his wife, as they beat her up and tied her up and put her in the bed as well. But see, as the audience, you don't know that till the deed is already done. And so you see all of it. Like, that's what makes this film so disgusting, bro, and so grimy and so dark. You see all of it. The whimpering, you hear the whimpering. They show the blood coming out the kid as what's happening is happening. The kid tries to lift his arm up to get up. The dad forces it back down. Because he's so high off these drugs, he doesn't even understand what's happening. And that's what I mean when I say the movie it's not a good movie. I don't want to say this is a good movie because the imagery is so disgusting, it ruins it. But the story and plot is actually good. It's just like, bro, why did we have to display it this way? It's so dark and it leaves nothing to your imagination. Let's talk about the other scene. The dad is friends with this other porn star, this girl. She ends up trying to save the dad, and she ends up telling Vukmut, like, basically telling him, like, oh, you're a bitch. You ain't never done this type of work. You're just abusing people and treating them like garbage or whatever. You're just using them. He's like, I'm about to end. She's like, I'm about to end this now, and da-da-da. So she tells him off, goes to save the dad, right? We cut to a different scene, and she's beat up, tied up, exposed, and they have ripped all her teeth out. They show you all her teeth laid out in front of her, mouth bloody. And so they have, like, obviously this is like some organizational crime work, sex work shit going on. This dude comes in with nothing but a mask on, and he, once again, I'm trying to describe this in the best way without being too graphic, bro, but he, orally chokes her to death. Not with his hands. He sticks something in her mouth. Mind you, she already has no teeth. She's bleeding. And she's choking on her own blood, and she's also choking on, how do I say this? She's choking on her own blood, and she's also choking on, like, a Vienna, a sausage. The guy's giving her his homemade Vienna sausage. And he's choking her with it as she's choking on her own blood. Mind you, she's already been beat, drugged, and all this other foul shit. And they're trying to kill her. And it's crazy because they're trying to kill her in the same way that she's been making her living and living her life. And it's something she likes to do. She's like, in the beginning when they're doing their monologues before the movie takes the turn, she talks about how she likes doing it. Like, it's something she likes doing. She doesn't mind doing it. It is what it is. And the same thing that she likes doing and enjoys doing ends up being the death of her in like the most literal terms. At one part, she says that the dad's talking to her, and he's like, oh, don't you get tired of that line of work or some shit, da-da-da-da. And she's like, you can't judge me because I fuck dirty animals. And so in my head, in your head, in my head, everybody's head, and we're like, oh, she's talking about men, like, the men who pay for prostitution, the men who do pornography, they're dirty animals. And in this scene, when we fast forward after she's being abused and all this shit, the dude is wearing like a animal mask, and he's doing this to her, and that is what ends up killing her. And that's why, I mean, the movie has so many good story elements that are showing or showcasing foreshadowing. Once again, bro, it's just ruined by how dark and just and nasty the imagery is. Like, once again, they don't leave none of this up to your imagination. If something's happening, they're not going to be like, oh yeah, this is happening. They're not going to be like, this is happening, and let you hear sounds of it. No. You're going to hear it, and you're going to see it in up close, different angle. You're going to see everything, bro. It's very disgusting. It's almost the worst scene, but it's not even the worst scene of the movie. It's like the fourth worst. That's like the fourth worst scene. It gets worse. So after that, some other shit happens. Yada yada yada. She's killed. They kill her obviously because she just choked on her own blood and bro's homemade Vienna sausage. She's choking on it or whatever and dies. Like they kill her. She's dead off of that. That's how she died. So then after that, it's another part of the movie, bro. And I almost contemplated cutting this shit off after this, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I had to step outside and go for like take a walk for a second when I was watching it. I'm like, this is like too much, bro. I couldn't even look at the screen for real. So after, bro, so basically what they were having the dad do was they were trying to almost like brainwash him into wanting to have sex with this girl. This little girl, like, I mean, maybe 12, 13. So in order to get him into that, they had him do the porn, like the regular porn scene, like some regular, some shit you see on Pornhub. But they had him looking at a little girl on the screen while the grown woman was doing the acts to him. So she's like, giving him head or whatever, while there's a little girl picture being on the screen while she's licking like a lollipop or some shit. And off the rip, I'm like, okay, this is nasty and disgusting, but this isn't like over the line. Like this is disgusting, but it isn't over the line, bro. I kid you not, bro. After that, the dad's like, hey, I'm done. I don't want to do this no more. I quit. I don't mess with kids. I don't like that. I can't work like that. You can keep your money. I'm done. Just let me be. So the dude gives him this whole talking speech. Vukmuk gives him this whole talking speech like, this is art. Yada, yada, yada. You this, that, and the third. And you're helping us bring in a new age of pornography. And then he plays him a video. And the video is a fucking... The video is literally a pregnant woman giving birth to a newborn. And as soon as the newborn comes out, I mean, blood is still on it. It's a newborn baby, bro. The dude who was filming it and the other weird organization people come in and they do what grown people do when they're in love to a baby. I don't even actually know. Fuck that. I'm not saying that. That's not love. They do what prostitutes and sex workers do to customers, to the fucking newborn baby, bro. And all you hear is the baby fucking crying. They're showing you, they show you what he's doing to it. And it's like, bro, at a point, bro, it's like, I get it, bro. Film, sometimes it has to be dark and gritty to get your point across, bro. But I feel like there was ways we could have avoided showing that, bro. Like, that wasn't needed. And the only reason I was able to keep watching the film and the movie is because I know it's fake. It's not a real baby. It's fake. It's a directed film. It's all that. They paid actors, yada, yada, yada. But it just sounded so terrible. Plus, you're seeing it, bro. I had to look away, bro. Like I said, I had to step outside for a second after. Because I'm just like, bro, what are we doing, bro? What are we doing? What the fuck are we doing? And bro comes, and then the Vukmu dude trying to still inspire the dad. He's like, yes, bro, this is the new age of it. Da 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 da. And he starts saying newborn corn. He starts chanting this shit. And bro almost threw my fucking food up, bro. I'm like, dude, this is some of the sickest shit I've ever heard in my life. Even the person who made this, like, at a point in time, it's just like, bro, you made this. You sat in a room somewhere, thought about this, and was like, yeah, I need this, that, and the third to happen. I need these to be the lines. Like, somebody sat down and made this shit, directed all of this. Like, and it just fucked with me, bro. And the reason I'm talking about this movie, I say this to say this, this movie is the reason why I haven't been watching porn, and like I haven't been doing that, because the movie the sick joke of it all, or sick message, it starts off almost in the same pattern as people who are into porn, and they slowly start going into the darker stages of it. Because, as you watch more and more porn, you get desensitized to it. So some people start diving into deeper versions of it so they can actually feel that first rush like they felt the first time. Just like if you smoke, that's why, like, it's a gateway almost. Like people say with drugs, don't smoke weed, because once you get tired of weed, that's when you start diving into the other drugs because you want to experience that high again. It's almost like the movie is saying the same thing, but with lust and porn. We start the movie off with a regular porno. Then we find out a kid is watching a porno. Then we find out the dad's a prostitute, and it just slowly starts getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse, till once again, like I said, we finish and it's the mom and it's the kid getting raped by his father. Yeah. My bad, I had a phone call, but yeah, bro. And like I was saying, bro, the reason this is just affecting me to the point is just like I have never in my, let's make sure this one thing is fucking clear. Never in my life have I ever watched some sick shit to this level and thought, oh yeah, I need this. Let me get my lotion out. Never in my fucking life. Never even had the thought of it. It's never even been a thing. But when you look at all the people who end up getting into that type of shit, it starts with like they watch too much porn, bro. And their body becomes desensitized to it, so they gotta watch more graphic shit, more graphic shit, more graphic shit. And I'm not gonna say I haven't got into graphic shit on porn, but never this level. But I can say I've went from jerking off to Kim K pictures to actual videos. Then I went from actual videos to like other different categories of porn. Like I dove in deeper into it. And my big fear, I guess now, which this movie kind of just brought out of me, is just like, I don't ever want to see myself become one of these people, bro. These are the type of people who are overcome with lust and evil and nasty, bro. These are the niggas that are like seeing women and don't see nothing but a vagina and some tits or an ass. I don't want to become one of them niggas, bro. That's like my biggest fear. That's some sick shit. And so the movie just made me think about that, because it's just like, once again, you just see it slow. It's like a slippery slope, bro. Once they started the movie, it just slowly slipped more and more into madness, bro. And then it also brings a question, what the fuck are you going to do? What are people willing to do for it? Desperate people do desperate things, bro. And sometimes people who aren't even desperate but need something or want something really bad, they do it. They're willing to put aside all warning and red flags to get what they want. And in this film, it's money, and also the hopes of better living for his family. Isn't that not some of the sickest shit? That's so ironic, bro. In hoping to provide a better life for his family, make a little bit more money for his family, and do good by his family, not have to be a prostitute no more, be loyal to his wife, really love his wife. Bro ends up sacrificing those people and doesn't even see that become a thing. It doesn't happen. The ending isn't some blissful ending with all of them alive outside of Serbia somewhere nice. No, bro. They end up dying. He ends up killing himself and his wife. So it's just, man, that hit a nerve in me, because like, damn, bro, I can't. I'm never doing this. And then they show you so much like sex in the movie. You're like, this is like porn, but it's not, bro. It made me feel weird, because I'm not gonna sit here and cap, bro. I watch porn. I'm not gonna sit up here and act like I don't watch porn. Like I used to watch porn a lot. Well, I'm saying I used to. Like 2 weeks ago, I was beating my shit to bad bitches. I'm not gonna sit up here and cap, bro. Like I was on fucking OnlyFans masturbating to bad bitches. But I don't want to slip into this whole, and it don't gotta be this extreme. Once again, just the whole part of looking at women a certain type of way. Like, I don't want to get into that. I actually do dream of having a life of connection and peace and bliss and happiness and a family and valuing people more than what they have to offer and more for who they are. You know, like, and this shows, and this is just a perfect example of what happens when, and not the dad. I think the dad intentions were good. He just got lost in what he was chasing, and not in a good way. But well, like going to that point, I don't want to become one of those people who are overcome by fucking just lust and fucking sex and all that shit to the point where I don't want to become a fucking zombie who only one motive is to get a nut off. That's what I don't want to become, and I feel like that's what porn's gonna lead me to. And so I'm really trying not to watch it. The first time I stopped, you know what's even crazier? The first time I stopped watching porn for like the longest time I went was like 2 or 3 months, was to have sex for the first time. I stopped watching porn because I wanted to actually have sex with a real woman and see what that felt like. And I ended up doing it. And it was like, all right, cool, this is cool. Like, all right, cool. But like, that shouldn't be my reason. And I'm learning to work on that and go by that. And so now, I haven't watched it in like I said, like 2 weeks. Coming up on, I'm pretty sure, somewhere around there. And already, even before I watched the film, I already had stopped a little bit. But this kind of just reconfirmed why I just need to stay away from that shit altogether. Like, it's cool having sex. It's cool doing that. But it's not good to get lost in it, bro, and let it overcome you, bro. And that's what this movie showed me, bro. Like, the nigga Vukmot, that's a crazy nigga, bro. And that's a nigga I don't ever want to see myself become. Like, it reminds me of, like, them Epstein niggas, bro. Like, I don't ever want to become that, bro. Them niggas are sick in the head. And I know I always talk about don't judge people. I'm sorry, bro. I gotta make exceptions for this one. This is some judgmental shit, bro. I'm sorry. That's some weird sick shit, bro. And I named a few scenes in this movie, bro. If people do go watch this movie, you will see that there is so much more nasty shit in this movie. Like, it's not even funny, bro. It's so much more weird, nasty shit in this movie. And, yeah, it is very fucking weird. And there's so much more to say. This video's already gonna be long as shit. But there's so much more to say about, like, the family sex trope. Like, it's a weird little family sex thing going on here. Not just the ending scene, but, like, throughout the movie, they try to tie the two in together. It's some weird fucking shit, bro. It's some very weird shit. Yeah. Like, the imagery, even though it's fake, it will never leave my head. That shit's like burned into my brain. So yeah, bro, I just wanted to come on here and talk about that. The last person I'm gonna talk about real quick before I end this video is the uncle. And here's the other thing. This is why I say lust too, not just the porn shit. The uncle was craving a family and a good loving wife and a kid, right? He falls in love with the dad's wife. And so at one point in the film, the dad's like, hey, bro, can you help me run a background check on this dude I'm doing this contract with, Vukmut? And the dad's like, yeah, the uncle's like, yeah, I got you. He's a police officer. He ends up, at the end, setting up the dad, right? And at one point in the film, he calls his brother once again. He's like, hey, bro, I need you to pick me up from here. Like, I'm stuck here, I need help. But the dad doesn't know his brother set him up so that he set him up and let all this shit happen with his brother just so he gets a chance to fuck his wife. And so he gets the chance to fuck his wife. And I don't know if I said it earlier, but that ending scene where the dad ends up killing his son by basically raping him, right next to him is his fucking is his fucking brother raping his wife in the same bed right next to him. Like, how do you become that? How do you let lust take you over that much to where you are willing to slime out your entire family, basically, just for that nut? Just for that craving, bro. And so I'm a just in this video saying this, bro. I pray that the people who are watching this, and I pray for the people myself, that we are never overcome with our desires to the point where we are able to sacrifice and throw out our own morals to achieve whatever we are desiring. And I know some people aren't religious, but I'm gonna say a prayer real quick, and then I'm gonna end this video. Lord, thank you for all you've done for me. Thank you for all you've done for the people around me, and the people who may not be around me but have come in contact with me. I pray that they may be blessed and not let their desires overtake them and overcome them and bring them to the darkness. I hope they always find a way to stay within your light and be guided by you. I know it's hard, we're human, and I know we make mistakes, but I know through you, Father, we can always make up for those mistakes. You gave your only son for us, and that's so we can repent, and we can learn, and we can make our way back to you in some way, form, or another. So, Lord, I just pray that you watch over the people who are listening to this. You watch over me. And like I said before, you watch over the people who are struggling with this and are overcome with lust and are overcome with all these things. And I'm not going to sit up here and lie to you and say, I won't be sinning ever again, or I won't be overcome with lust again. I am human, I'm a man. But Father, I pray when I do have those times and those trials and those tribulations when dealing with that problem, you lead me back to the light so that I can be at peace with you and really truly be at peace with myself and live a blissful and harmonious life that isn't filled with lust, that isn't making me cross out my morality, that isn't bringing me into the darkness and isn't leaving me there while you keep on moving forward, Lord. And with that, I say, in Jesus' name, we pray. Amen. And thank you, Father. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good day, bro.